welcome to the 15 before. Here we are, right on time, ready to go.
Yes.
It's a good morning. How are you, sir?
I'm doing fantastic.
What's your name? We got to introduce everybody.
Yeah, that's right. I'm Greg.
Greg, and
Nice
my
to
name's
meet
Josh,
you.
by the way. We should always say our names.
Yep.
We are excited to be here, excited to have you joining us for the first 15 minutes before service starts. We've got a great day planned, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second. But Greg doesn't know anything about what's happening in the 15 before.
I do not.
So it's going to be a fun time. Today we have a great day planned. First of all, invite someone to the stream. Click the share button. Make sure that you send the link to somebody you know who needs to be in church, who needs to hear what we're doing today. Christmas at Forest Park is a special time, and so we definitely want to make sure that you share it with somebody. Facebook makes it super easy. You can always copy the YouTube link and text it to somebody. And yeah, make sure, I know I love seeing people that you've always been sharing it, and
Yep.
it's cool because everyone has their own little circle of people, and so you get it to them and they may be able to watch. So
Absolutely.
we also have the chat here. Chat is pulled up so that we can always see what you're typing in. You can interact with us throughout the morning, and we love to be able to talk to
Now,
people.
this shows YouTube and Facebook, right?
YouTube and Facebook,
Okay.
yes. So if you're watching on YouTube, watching on Facebook, you can comment to us and talk to us directly, and we get to see your chat here. And yeah, so we're excited about today. What's coming up is the question of the day. Okay.
All right.
So I maybe should have had you think about this one, but the question of the day is, what are some of your Christmas traditions?
Oh,
I guess now I'm just, what pops first into your mind when you think of a Christmas tradition?
I didn't really have Christmas traditions. The one that pops in my head the most is just like a memory in my head,
Uh-huh.
and that's my mother's house. My mother and father, they always decorate the house so beautiful.
Mhm.
It's cozy. They
Yeah.
have warm color walls.
Yeah.
So fireplace going, Christmas tree next to the fireplace, and
Just a good
that's
feeling.
about it. And then growing up, my aunt always had a very big Christmas party, and that was
Okay.
always amazing.
Yep.
There was only one year it wasn't amazing, and that's when we found out I was allergic to cats. My
Ah.
eyes swelled
Oh,
shut.
wow.
I
So
was
really
like-
allergic.
Oh yeah.
Wow. That's
But yeah, the Christmas traditions is more like a Christmas memory. It's
Do you
just
eat anything special on Christmas?
no.
Okay, just a
your
typical
Christmas.
thing.
We always eat as a family because we all live in Illinois pretty
Yeah.
much. So
Yeah.
get together.
Yeah.
But
Let us-
yeah, fireplace, Christmas tree. You know, my old dog Dakota, he passed unfortunately.
Oh, okay.
But just those memories.
Yeah. Let us know if you have a Christmas tradition, if there's something special you do that's maybe unique to, I know different cultures do different things.
Yeah.
We may get to that in a little bit. But yeah, the Christmas traditions are really, I think, special because, it happens every year, and you know that you can look forward to it.
Yep.
I know for me, I haven't done it in a bit, but I always grew up eating a lot of Polish food, a lot
yeah.
of pierogies, a lot of
Gołąbki.
kielbasa, yeah, gołąbki. There's a lot of good. A lot of it I think centers on food. I mean, food
Yeah.
is just so. It just makes you feel a certain way. Comforting, the comfort foods, and if you have a Christmas tradition, let us know. Maybe you go to. I know the Christmas parade just happened last night here in Elizabeth City. I
Same
know
in
that's
Chesapeake.
okay. So that that's a tradition for a lot of people. It's just
We
going
were kind
and-
of like the Grinch this year.
Oh,
we
just
planned
stay
on
home.
how to avoid it.
Yeah,
Because
yeah,
we
yeah.
were out shopping and we're like, how do we avoid it?
Yeah. So anything like that, just let us know in the comments. And then I also want to talk about everything that's happening at Forest Park. So
There's a lot.
today, you can click next slide, Mel. Today, we've got a lot great things happening. We've got Kid Venture music. They're going to be playing right after the 5-minute countdown. So they're going to have a little performance. They're going to be singing some songs. You got to love the Kid Venture coming in. We also have Angel Project finishing up today. We only have about 50 cards. Nothing beats Trinidadian food at Christmas dinner.
Do you remember
and Christmas Eve?
when Drew made that Trinidadian food for the media team?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that
was
was so good.
Drew knows what he's doing. He brought
Yeah.
me Thanksgiving dinner, by the way.
I saw that.
it was so
That
So good. Shout
Yeah.
out to Drew. He knows what he's doing.
Absolutely.
So yeah, Kid Venture performing up right after the 5-minute countdown. Angel Project is finishing today. We're getting all those cards off the window. Greg, take a step back real quick to let the people see. Right behind there is the Angel Project happening. We've got a few more cards, about 50 cards left from 310. which is crazy.
Yeah, that's amazing.
You know, I think that's maybe the highest we've gone in just giving back to people who are needing it, who may not have any Christmas gifts for the day.
My wife and I had a lot of fun buying the gifts and stuff.
Yeah, it is fun.
It gives you ideas, but you don't really know what to buy, so you got to kind of like think about kids, and it lets you see through their eyes for just a little bit.
It is. It's so rewarding, and of course that's not why you do, but it's just all around. It's just one of my favorite projects that we do. It's so much fun to be able to, you know, pick a different kid, you know, maybe in a different age range or a different, you know, sometimes you love shopping for a girl or a boy, and it's just really fun. So good morning, Hanley. Thank you for commenting and being here. Any Christmas traditions, Hanley? Anything that you like to do for Christmas? And then we're starting a new series today, by the way.
Yes,
Christmas
we are.
Cliches. It is a series all about the cliches around Christmas. Things that, you know, we always say today is it's the most wonderful time of the year. You know, that is the cliche we're going to be talking about.
Is it really?
Is it though? You know, like, is it really? Because really quick, Hanley said Christmas PJs is one of my favorite traditions.
Oh yeah,
the matching
that's
PJs.
my wife right there. She likes the PJs as well.
It's such a funny thing. I think I never really knew about it until I met like Ashlyn. You know, that people like do that.
Yeah, my wife's all about her matching PJ sets, especially around Christmas.
You gotta love matching PJs.
We got sweaters this year for her Christmas party.
Ugly sweaters or regular? Like
ugly.
nice.
It says, "Why is the floor all wet, Todd?" And then mine says, "I don't know, Margot from Christmas Vacation."
Oh my gosh. But Christmas cliches. So one thing I wanted to say real quick is, you know, cliches. There's a lot to them. There's truth in the cliches, and then there's also things that you just really don't think about when everybody says those cliches. And you know, it's the most wonderful time of the year for a lot of reasons, and it's also not. You know,
family,
for a lot of people.
Family. That's when family actually gets together.
Yeah.
Most of the time. Well, it's more likely that family are going to fly in and get together.
Sure.
So.
And that's...
I'm big on family.
Oh, I know.
It's many years where I didn't appreciate it as much as I should have, and now it's just... I live for family.
Yeah, and you don't think about those things until you like actually pick apart.
Until you don't have them. Like I moved to Virginia and realized how important family truly is.
Right. So we're excited about the series. We've got 4 weeks. We're going to lead up to Christmas. Is Christmas Eve on Sunday or Christmas Day?
Saturday.
I can't remember.
Christmas Eve,
and then Sunday is Christmas Day.
Yep.
We're doing online only for Christmas Day. So we're going to have we're going to record a special.
I was gonna ask that.
Yeah, we're going to record a special. Lights went out. That's okay. We're going to turn them on in a second. We're going to have a Christmas special, which is going to be aired live. Aaron loves helping me decorate the house.
Yeah.
That sounds.
I guess decorating the tree would be a tradition.
I don't think
that me and my family did.
You know, Aaron. I don't think Aaron really loves decorating the house. You know, that's just my.
We're sensing sarcasm.
Sensing a little bit of sarcasm here. Well,
nice.
You know, maybe he's doing all the tree lighting on or the house lighting.
House lighting.
You know, it gets cold out there, Leslie. Give him a break.
My dad does a really good job with Christmas lights. And everything.
So, anyways, new series starting online only on Christmas Day, and that's going to be a really good. We do a Christmas special that we love to record and release live. So, good morning, Lauren. Thank you for commenting. Any Christmas traditions you have, Lauren? Anything that you're a big fan of? We're going to get into our game and we'll look back because our game is actually centered around Christmas foods and Christmas traditions. We're going to take a quiz, okay?
Okay.
And we're gonna try and we're gonna put our minds together, okay? We're not going to work against each other.
That works.
We got about 5-6 minutes left, and we're going to see how far we can get. You may need to lower the brightness a little bit on this. We'll see how it comes. You can take it just a tad. It's not too bright. This food and drink quiz from around the world.
Okay.
So let's see how good we can do.
It's up.
November 21st, 2022.
Yeah, it's updated.
And this is a nice picture to start off with. Let me zoom in just a little bit. That way, it may be good. And we're zooming in. Hopefully we're back.
Right, yes.
Sorry about that.
A little bit of technical difficulty.
It's been an interesting time.
We're off like a
we got all the
turtles.
kids lining up. Maybe the kids are giving off energies. They're so excited.
Positive vibe.
Positive vibes. Let's see if we can do this while we go. I want to make sure I know how much time we have, by the way. Okay.
We can do it.
We can do it. First question. This is quite the picture here. I don't know what's going on. Which country celebrates with an Advent dinner every Sunday of Advent?
That one is 100% going to be Germany.
Wow, you are confident.
Yeah, because Switzerland, that whole area up there is big on Advent.
Wow. Okay.
I would think. I could be wrong.
I think we're going to go with Germany. Let's see what we're doing.
I think so.
Oh, does it tell us?
Gotta get all 15 before we.
Okay, we're gonna have to finish this in the next service. Okay.
Let's see.
Come back for the big reveal. I thought it would tell us, but I guess not. Okay. Where might people eat a Vigilia supper at Christmas? Now, this one, easy peasy.
Yeah.
It's Poland.
Yep.
I am Polish. I knew that one right away. Where is eggnog drunk? It's got to be the U.S., right?
UK, I would.
You think the UK?
I know
the
we
US
drink it in the U.S.
But if we drink it,
Then
and we
might
know
as
that
well
for
go-
sure, we
yeah.
might as well.
Okay.
All right. In which country would you probably eat your Christmas dinner outside of the outside or on the beach?
What's the
Wow.
other one? I would say Wales or Australia.
I think Australia.
they don't really-
They've got a Barbie. What is
Yeah.
what are these pictures? Pineapple.
He's having a good time.
Pineapple's going to eat
Yeah. Let's
steak
say-
on the Barbie. That is a terrible Australian accent. Nobody needs to comment about that. Again, sorry we lost you guys. Okay. Yeah, we got 50 seconds. Should we go Australia?
Yep.
All right. We'll get to question 7 and then we'll finish in the next service, okay?
Okay.
Which of these is typically eaten
Which?
typically eaten meat Christmas in Greece? Oh my gosh.
Oh man.
They have octopus in the picture.
Yeah, I was gonna say because I actually ate an octopus in Greece because I'm terrified of
Really?
octopus, and I was overcoming my fears on my first deployment. And I ate an octopus in
Wow.
Greece.
All right, we're going to put octopus.
That's one of my wife's favorite stories because of.
Well, let's do one last question. What is Birek Miknalala? Well, we only have, I think we've got to go to worship.
That doesn't seem like.
Well, we got to finish this in the next service. Come and see what we have. Oh, we have 13 seconds. Well, they're coming in now. We're just going to go to the auditorium now. Thanks so much for being here. Sorry about the technical difficulties. We'll get there. And we'll make sure that we're good. 2, 1. I think we should be good. We'll go to worship. We're going to go to the auditorium.
He's got nothing.
That's okay. Just throw it to the auditorium.
And there were in the same country shepherds, abiding in the field, keeping watch over their flock by night. And lo, the angel of the Lord came upon them. And the glory of the Lord shone round about them. And they were sore afraid. And the angel said unto them, Fear not. For behold, I bring you tidings of great joy, which shall be to all people. For unto you is born this day in the city of David a Savior, which is Christ the Lord. And this shall be a sign unto you. You shall find the babe wrapped in swaddling clothes, lying in a manger. And suddenly there was with the angel a multitude of the heavenly host praising God, and saying, Glory to God in the highest, and on earth peace, goodwill toward men. That's what Christmas is all about, Charlie Brown.
The shepherds came to see the baby, stood by his mother's side. Here lay the Savior inside a manger. Oh, what a glorious night. Oh, what a glorious night. I hear the angels singing, hallelujah, let the earth receive her King. I know that love has come. Sing it out, Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is born. Yeah. The shepherds wonder, they couldn't hide it. Told everyone in sight. All were amazed when they heard how God came down on a glorious night. God came down on this glorious night. I hear the angels singing, hallelujah, let the earth receive her King. I know that love has come. Sing it out, Jesus Christ is born. Jesus Christ is born. Glorious, glorious, what a glorious night. Glorious, glorious, what a glorious night. I hear the angels singing, hallelujah, let the earth receive her King. I know that love has come. Sing it out, Jesus Christ is born. I hear the angels singing, hallelujah, let the earth receive her King. I know that love has come, yeah. Sing it out, Jesus Christ is born. I heard that Jesus Christ is born, yeah, yeah, All is calm now, all is quiet. A star shining in the sky. Below in Bethlehem, the King is sleeping. Oh, what a glorious night. Oh, what a glorious night. Build a snowman with the wind at his back. Got the day planned and presents to wrap. Fight the wind chill with all of my friends, 'cause it's Christmas time again. Going downtown and spreading good cheer, handing gloves out when we volunteer for the children, grinning from ear to ear, singing Christmas time is here. And everybody's like, ha ha ha, ho ho ho. Four-wheel driving through the snow, fighting the cold with some hot cocoa. Grab a grandma to the mall we go, and there's a man outside with a bucket and a bell. Wants to go home with a story to tell. He's reminding us that his Christmas got nothing to do with living for himself. It's the light of Christmas shining through. Our eyes are smiles, you know it could shine on through. Can't wait for Christmas Day, light me up. I finally figured out what Christmas is all about. Oh, 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 oh. Here's a gift card for your new winter coat, 'cause the backyard is covered with snow and the sleigh rides, they don't cost a cent. Yeah, it's Christmas time again. The light of Christmas shining through. Our eyes are smiles, you know it could shine on Christmas shining through our eyes, our smiles, you know it could shine on through all the good that we do for the people that don't have it so good. Light me up and I'll show you the way every year. Can't wait for Christmas Day. Light me up. I finally figured out what Christmas is all about. Hear the sound. 1,000 angels are singing out. To God Almighty we're bowing down. And that's what Christmas is all about. Do you hear the sound? 1,000 angels are singing out. To God Almighty we're bowing down. And that's what Christmas is all about. Light me up and I'll show you the way every year. Can't wait for Christmas Day. Light me up. I finally figured out what Christmas is all about. Light of Christmas shining through our eyes, our smiles, you know it could shine on through all the good that we do for the people that don't have it so good. Light of Christmas shining through our eyes, our smiles, you know it could shine on through all the good that we do for the people that don't have it so good. Light me up. I finally figured out what Christmas is all about. For the people that don't have it so good. I finally figured out what Christmas is all about.
Morning. We got some stray ones. Good morning. Everybody, as they're exiting, give it up for Allison, the kids, one more time. We're so grateful for them. Allison, hey, Allison, take a bow. Take a bow. There you go. She does such a great job with our Kid Venture and our team back there. We're so grateful for her. We're grateful for your kids and your grandkids to be a part of this church and be a part of celebrating Christmas with us today. We're grateful that you're here and celebrating Christmas with us as we kick off the Christmas season here at Forest Park Church. Whether you're here to just kind of support your kids or grandkids, or this is your home, we want to say welcome. Thanks for being here. My name is Preston Waller. I'm the student pastor here at Forest Park. So Allison does the little ones. I do the ones that may be a little bit older, 6th through 12th grade ministry. I'm grateful again that you're here. You've chosen to be here. You're here for a purpose today, and God has some amazing things in store to bless you today. Before we get ready to transition into our worship service with worship and a message, I have a couple of announcements, and we're going to enter into a time of giving today. So let's quickly go through the announcements. First and foremost, if you are a student, a 6th through 12th grader, or you have one, my ministry, Next Student Ministry, meets tonight here at Forest Park Church from 5 to 7 p.m. So we meet twice a month, every other Sunday here at campus, in the evenings on Sundays. And we have an amazing service plan for our students tonight. We're actually going to talk about how does God really want us to live out our faith, and what does it mean to make bold moves for the kingdom of God. And so I'm super excited to talk to our students about that and eat some good food. Last day to grab a card. So we have about, I think, 50-ish cards left on the window. If you came through the main lobby, you saw all those cards kind of taped on the window. Angel Project is our incentive as a church to bless the children in our community. We partner with local schools to bless families that are in need for help with Christmas this year. So Marion leads that ministry. She does a great job partnering with so many local schools throughout our area to help bless students and bless kids and bless parents with a Christmas. And so we would love for you to be a part of helping make a difference in our community this Christmas season. So we have about, again, 50 cards. Just looking around the room, we have obviously more than 50 people here. Our goal today is to clear the windows. So if you have not grabbed a card, we would love for you to grab a card on your way out after service today. If you have any questions about what it's like, what do you need to do, Marion's there to answer all of your questions about that. Each card, you really only spend about 20 to 30 bucks to buy the gifts that these kids are asking for. They have their age, their pants, and shirt size, so you don't have to worry about, is the pajamas I'm getting too big or too small. All the information's on there. But really, I need everyone to tune in for this part because this is so important. If you've grabbed a card already, Or if you plan on grabbing a card today, next Sunday is the day that these gifts need to be, when the gifts are due back here at Forest Park Church. And hey, for those of you watching online on our online service, if you aren't in this area, but you watch and this is your home church, whether you watch from a different part of the state and you want to participate, you can go online and give money, and all that money will go straight to helping fund the Angel Tree is how we worship God. So before the first impressions teams pass the baskets, I just want to give a little bit of a statistic I saw this week. Jose, you can pass the baskets, by the way. I saw your team passing the basket. I know, I said, hold on, but they were already passing the basket, so pass the basket. It's fine. But one of the statistics I saw this week that was super important, and I thought eye-opening for me, which was actually in America. That was only in America. The statistic was for Americans spent $60 billion in weight loss program, even having a meal and being undernutritious. And so 19 billion would solve world hunger, but Americans spend 60 billion in 1 year alone in weight loss programs. So if we would learn to use our money differently, we could see a bigger impact in our world. And so when we give, you're not just giving, what you're doing is choosing to consider your needs less important than the people around you. Philippians 2:4 says that it's our call as Christians to consider other people's needs more important than ourselves. To be humble, to serve people is truly a mark of what it means to be a Christian. So when you give money to Forest Park every week or every month, or when you grab an Angel Tree off the window, what you're choosing to do is say, my needs in this moment is less important than the people who are hurting and need Jesus around me. So when you give, know that you're not just giving, but in a sense, when you give, you're choosing to make others' needs more important and make an impact and a difference with your money. You can see we have a great service. We have an amazing worship we're about to get into today. And then Pastor Scott is going to bring part one of our new series called Christmas Cliches. We're super excited about it. I know that it will be a blessing for you. If you guys would stand with me, I'm going to pray, and then we're going to enter into worship together. Father, thank you so much for your grace. Thank you for this time of the year where we can stop and remember Jesus being born and the miracle that was. God, we serve a gracious and generous God. God, you didn't hold back anything, but you considered your needs less important than your children, and you served and you gave in more ways than we ever could. God, in this service, would you prepare our hearts, prepare our minds to receive something from you today? And not only receive it, God, but believe it. And God, not only believe it, but actually put it into action when we leave here. Help us become more and more like you every day. Bless us in this service. We pray in your name. Amen.
Well, like Preston said, we are so excited that you're here with us to worship. So let's sing together. There's nothing impossible for you. When all I see are the
praise. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, you silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Your name is light that the shadows can deny. Your name cannot be overcome. Your name is light forever lifted high. Your name cannot be overcome. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus, silence fear. Jesus, Jesus, you make the darkness tremble. Jesus, Jesus. Jesus, Jesus,
are so thankful that you are a good, good Father to us. God, we walk through our lives and sometimes things are thrown at us that seem hopeless, seem dark. But God, just as we sing this morning, it's your name. The shadows cannot deny your name. So God, I pray as we walk through our weeks and our days and our hours and our minutes that we will just call out to your name. Because it's you who fights our battles. It's you who has already claimed victory over the battles that we face. So God, we thank you for who you are and all that you've done for us. Let's sing that chorus again. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are. And I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. You're a good, good Father. It's who you are. It's who you are. It's who you are, and I'm loved by you. It's who I am. It's who I am. It's who I am. God, thank you for this day. It's in your name I pray. Amen. Thanks for worshiping with us. You may have a seat.
Every time the bell rings, an angel gets his wings.
One thing about trains, it doesn't matter where they're going. What matters is deciding to get on.
I see it, but I don't believe it.
You're missing the point.
What is the point?
Seeing isn't believing. Believing is seeing.
Maybe Christmas, he thought, doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
The best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
Didn't look this bad on our honeymoon.
Good morning, everybody. Great to see you. How many of you have started your Christmas shopping? Okay, a few of you, good. Who will be making a list of gifts that you need to buy and the parties you need to attend and the decorations you need to complete during this message? It's okay. Okay, a few of you, all right. Who will try to catch up on some much needed sleep during the message today? It's okay, all right. Some of you missed it. Might as well be honest. No reason to lie in church. We are skilled at multitasking, aren't we? A lot of times our bodies are here, but our minds are somewhere else. I'm not judging, I'm admitting. I do it too. We do several things at the same time, allowing us to be in a lot of different places. Unfortunately, we are rarely fully present in one place. It's interesting, technology has made us more efficient than ever, but less connected. More available, but less present. How many of you know someone who has a problem being fully present? You don't have to lift your hand on that one because you might be sitting beside that person right now. It's as if they are always looking to be somewhere else. How many of you are that person? You're constantly struggling with being fully present wherever you are. I have been that person for a long time. Always talking with someone but thinking about something else, even reading something and thinking about another thing, constantly worried, am I going to be able to finish this task, get this done, where do I need to go, who do I need to speak with, all those different things. My mind constantly twirling in different places all at the same time, always looking to be somewhere other than where I am at current. It's tough. We carry iPhones, Androids, iPads. We use Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, email. We're always there for many people, but rarely here for one. We have a little time for a lot of people, but rarely have a lot of time for a handful of people. We have 1,000 friends on Facebook, but only one or two we would trust with our heart. Yet we search, don't we? We search for that relationship that meets our expectation, that friendship that fulfills us. It's one of the reasons so many of us keep checking our phones, refreshing Facebook all the time. Maybe somebody will send me something that will make me feel as if I matter. We get excited about that notification. We look down at the bottom of our computer screen or on our phone and we see that little red number on Facebook, or we see a text has come through and we're like, I wonder who it is. And if we get a private message, we open it slowly because we're like, wow, someone actually thought of me. They're sending me a private message. We're constantly searching for relationship validation, yet if we're honest, we know the hard truth. We are one small person in the midst of massive group of strangers in this world. And it becomes clear whenever you watch your honest and transparent status update on how lonely you feel or how frustrated you are, or when you post a great question on social media platform and you're hopeful to get some traction, but yet it gets pushed slowly down the page by political arguments and the latest recipe for pot roast. And you're like, wow, do I really matter? Few seem to care about what you say or feel or think. And sometimes it's as if you are trying to get somebody to listen in a room packed with 500 people talking at the exact same time. We are a connected, disconnected society. And then we get into the full swing of Christmas season, and it even gets more trying. Because on top of your already busy, disconnected life, you've got shopping for gifts, not just for your family, but for your friends and for your kids' friends and for teachers and coworkers and some guy whose name you drew and you have no idea what to get him, but then again, you don't even know the guy anyway, so it probably won't matter too much. And then there's parties. You know, the one at your house and the one at your sister's house and then the one at your parents' house and then the one at the office and two at school, and then there's church and then there's community group and then the other one that you got to get to on the Wednesday before Christmas for your kids. Expectation, anxiety, pressure. It's the most wonderful time of the year, right? And you know what? In the middle of all that, we can't help but think of our family and our friends who are going through some really difficult times right now. Because in this room and watching online and in the service that will come following this one, we've got people who are unemployed, people who are ill, people who are going through marital issues, people who are depressed. Maybe it's your first Christmas without your mom or without your dad. And you look around and you want to help, but you got your own problems and you got your busy schedule. And although you long for connection and friendship and you want to be present for your kids and for your wife and for your community group and for those people who really need you, you just don't know how to get it all done and yet remain fully present during this season. And you wonder if once again you will get to January and you will say to yourself, as you have said to yourself many times in the past, where did this year go? Where did Christmas go? Why did I get so caught up again this year? I told myself last year that I wasn't going to get pulled into all the stress, and here I am, right in the middle of the wave of stress again. So how do you remain fully present in the midst of everything that's going on? And more importantly, how do you experience God's presence when everything is spinning around you? Is it possible? Well, I want to call your attention to a comment that Paul the Apostle made many years ago, and yet it remains just as fresh as it did when he first penned it. Now, before we look at it, you need to know that Paul was writing to a group of Christians who were living under difficult circumstances. I mean, life was not easy for these people. And these Christians were trying to do what was right, what was good, what they believed was what God wanted, yet life was difficult, just like it is for many of you sitting in this room this morning. And we discussed this verse a few weeks ago in our Seasons series. So I'm just going to get to it quickly and kind of, jump into it just a moment. Won't get into too many of the details. But here's what Paul says in Galatians 6. He said, "Let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up." Paul encouraged these Christians to not give up. He knew they were being tempted to stop. He knew they were being tempted to throw their hands up and say, you know what, I'm finished with this. I've done all I can do. I'm exhausted from trying to be what everybody needs. I'm exhausted from keeping all the balls, in the air, keeping all the plates spinning. I'm tired of holding out hope for a better tomorrow. This is it. There is no better tomorrow. I quit. And Paul says, don't quit. Don't give up. Instead, watch this. This is where I'm going to concentrate. Instead, as we have opportunity, let us do good to all people. Folks, you can't do it all. You can't keep all the balls in the air forever. You can't keep all the plates spinning forever. You can't meet everybody's need. You can't get the schedule done perfectly all the time. You're going to drop a ball here and there. A plate's going to fall and get broken. You're going to miss a date. You're not going to be able to attend a party. You're going to forget about a particular gift. You're going to lose a good attitude. You're going to have some stress during the middle of all the stuff that's going on in this season. But when an opportunity to do good comes along, take it. And then in verse 2, up above these verses, at the very beginning of this chapter, Paul says this: carry each other's burdens, and in this way you will fulfill the law of Christ. Folks, listen to me very carefully. There are people struggling around you right now. In fact, you do not know what the person sitting beside you is actually going through. You have no idea the people behind you in the row in front of you, across this room, watching online, why they're not here this morning, why they are looking as downcast as they are. You have no idea what's going on in the background of that person's life. There are people struggling around you. In fact, you might be the person struggling. And Paul tells us, as he told those Christians so long ago, same exact thing he would tell us today: share the burden. Lift up some of the weight of other people's lives. Your schedule's full, their schedule's full. You're trying to get it all done, they're trying to get it all done. Well, Scott, how does this help me in the middle of this Christmas season? Andy Stanley summarized the thought from these two passages like this, and I love this little quote from him. He says, you can't shut it all out, but you can't take it all on. In other words, you can't meet the needs of all people, but you can meet the needs of some people. And this is a tension you and I have to manage every day of our lives, especially during seasons like Christmas. If we do not figure out how to manage this tension, you can't do it all, but you can do some things. You can't meet everybody's needs, but you can meet some people's needs. You can't carry everybody's burden, but you can help share the burden of some people. If we don't figure out how to manage this tension, we will fall into one side or the other. We will shut it all out and become cold, indifferent, and inaccessible, or we will take it all on and live stressed, anxious lives. So we've got to figure out how to manage this tension. So how do we do it? Well, no one did it better than Jesus. I want to show you a couple of insights from his life. One is found in Mark 6. I'm going to get to this passage in just a moment. Let me set it up for you. As you know, Jesus drew large crowds. Everywhere he went, there were people constantly around him. Some of them wanted to, see a miracle. Some of them wanted good news. Some of them wanted him to heal them. Some of them wanted to have their bellies filled, hopeful he would multiply bread and fish again. People are always flocking around Jesus, and at times there were thousands of people following Jesus, and they pressed upon him so much that he couldn't even get some things done. He had to move himself away from the crowds. Can you imagine living like that? You wake up in the morning, and right outside your door are hundreds of people waiting for you to come outside. And they've got needs, and they have questions, and they're going to follow you everywhere you go. They're going to listen to everything you say. Some people will criticize everything you say. Some people will encourage what you say. But just imagine living your life just surrounded by people all the time. And it seems as if everybody wants a piece of you. Well, that's what it was like to be Jesus, or one of his closest disciples. Hundreds of requests were pouring in every single day. So how did Jesus respond? You think your schedule's full? You think you have a lot of things to do? You think you have a lot of weight to carry, a lot of balls to juggle, a lot of plates to keep spinning? Just imagine in that particular world, and hundreds, if not thousands of people are pressing around you all the time, wanting you to meet their individual needs. How did Jesus respond? Watch this. In Mark chapter 6, beginning at verse 30, here's what it says, and I'm going to put one particular verse on the screen for you. It says, the apostles gathered around Jesus and reported to him all they had done and taught. Then, because so many people were coming and going that they did not even have a chance to eat. Now, folks, it would have to be a large crowd to stop some of us from eating, would it not? They didn't even have a chance to eat. They were so packed around him, so many needs, so many things going on. They were so packed around him, he couldn't even get a chance to eat. And this is what Jesus says. This is how he responds to the needs of all the people constantly around him. He says to his apostles, come with me by yourselves to a quiet place and get some rest. So insightful. Right in the middle of the throngs of people, everybody clamoring to have their needs met, Jesus takes those closest to him and pulls them away from the crowds, finds a quiet place, and gets some rest. Let me just tell you something, okay? Something I've learned over time. In the middle of this Christmas season, as we wrap up this year and everybody's going to be pulling at you, and you're going to get a text, are you coming to the party? You're going to get an email, hey, did you forget about this? And you're going to get a phone call, and someone at work is going to say, hey, I'd love to have you come next Friday night. And then someone at church is going to say, hey, next Sunday we're doing this. And then you're going to get something at work, and then your family, then your in-laws, and your parents, and your kids, and your grandkids, and all the different people are going to constantly be pushing around you and wanting you to do this and go here and do this. And look, Christmas season is fun, and there's lots of festivities and lots of, good things that are going on, and we enjoy being around family and friends, but it can get overwhelming, especially if you're going through a difficult time. Especially if you're battling anxiety, or you're battling depression, or you're battling an illness. Especially if your marriage right now is really at a tough place. Especially if mentally you're just not where you thought you would be. Especially if your relationship is just falling apart in your life. Especially if you're spiritually not where you thought you would be. And other people don't know what's going on inside you. They don't know that you're falling apart. They don't know that your life right now is kind of just cracked, and they're trying to pull from you and get from you. I've learned over time that you're going to have to choose to stop, walk away from the crowds, and get some rest. And that's going to be a decision you will have to make. Right in the middle of the busiest time in the ministry of Jesus, right in the midst of crowds of people who needed him, who wanted him to heal them, multiply more bread and fish, bring miracles, right in the middle of all these people wanting him to meet their needs, he pulled away and got some rest. That is the opposite of what we would think would have happened. That's not what we're taught in our culture, is it? No, man, you got to capitalize on when people want you, meet their needs, and there's a wave of interest around you. Ride that wave as far as you can, and take advantage of the fact that people want your attention, because there's going to come a day that people aren't going to want your attention as much. So live in the moment and get all you can out of it. But in the middle of this, Jesus pulls away and says, you know what? We're going to get some rest. Right in the middle of the parties and the shopping and the family planning and on and on. Listen to this, listen to this, and you must seek and find a quiet place. It will not find you. It will not find you. Folks, our culture will pull from you until you have nothing left. If you have a free hour, somebody can fill it. If you have a free day, somebody can pack that calendar, can they not? It will not find you. You must find it. You have to find it, and you have to get some rest. Jesus modeled compassion, yes, but he also modeled rest. You know what that tells me about God? It tells me that he cares about my emotional and physical health just as much as he cares about my spiritual health. Sometimes some of us have the impression that the only thing that really matters, for God is just that you're spiritually healthy. No. He wants you physically healthy, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, relationally healthy, financially healthy, healthy in every single area. He cares about all of that in your life. And if you will pay attention to how he lived and pay attention to what he taught his disciples, you will see all kinds of wisdom just flowing from every single area and teach you how to live a healthy life in all those areas. Man, I wish I had learned this lesson many years ago. If I would have learned this lesson many years ago, I'd be at a different place in so many areas of my life. A different person, both emotionally, physically, spiritually, on and on it goes. It took a long time to figure some of this out. And I still struggle with it. And the only way to develop and maintain physical, emotional, spiritual health is to create, here's a huge word, I'm going to explain it. It's a small word, but we don't understand it very well. We've got to create margin in our lives. Do you know what I mean when I say margin? Dr. Richard Swenson defines margin this way. He says margin is the space between our load and our limits. It is the amount allowed beyond that which is needed. It's the amount you have beyond that which is needed. So you need this amount, but if you have margin, you have this amount. So you stop here and you have margin before you break. It is something held in reserve for unanticipated situations. Margin is the gap between rest and exhaustion, the space between breathing and suffocating. Some of us sitting in this room have little to no margin. We live our lives basically at our limit. We live our lives beyond what we just need to get by. We push that level. We don't have anything in reserve for those anticipated situations. The gap between rest and exhaustion, the space between breathing and suffocating, very little. That's why when one thing goes wrong, it cascades into every area of our life and we fall apart because we don't have enough margin. Our car breaks down, we're in a mess. Everything falls apart. One child gets sick, and it's a domino effect in our entire life. Everything falls apart. One thing gets canceled, we don't know how to manage it all. One unanticipated bill comes our way, financially, we are in a mess. Because we live our lives as close to the edge, as close to the limit as possible. We have no reserve for unanticipated situations. And that's why we freak out so quickly. No reserve. We're pushing the limits on every side. Emotionally, some of us are stripped. Physically, we can't give anymore. Spiritually, we don't have enough time to even think about our spiritual lives. We've got to learn how to develop space, empty space, room to breathe, margin. So how do you create margin? Let me give you 3 big words here. Answering that it's a whole series in and of itself. But let me give you a few thoughts that I've picked up from some other pastors, leaders, authors along the way throughout the years. 3 big words, okay? Number 1, admit. You want margin in your life? Admit that everybody wants a piece of you and everybody can't have it. Admit everybody wants a piece of you, but you are a finite resource and you eventually will run out if you do not say no. You cannot make everybody happy. Can I give you a secret after 32 years of marriage? You can't make your spouse happy. Don't tell Lana I said that. You cannot make you're not even supposed to live trying to make your spouse happy. That's a whole nother subject. But you can't make the people closest to you happy. What makes you think you're going to make all the people at work happy, all the people at school happy, all the people in church happy? You can't. You don't have enough resources to go around. And everybody will take a piece of you if you keep passing it out. So admit that you're limited. 2, learn. Learn how to use the most powerful word in the English language. No. No. Hey, can you come and do this? You know what? I'm not going to be able to do that right now. Thank you. Will you participate in this? I can't right now. I'm sorry. No. No, thank you. Will you be a part of this? No, I can't. Not right now, but thank you. Now, there's going to be yeses interspersed in all that, but learn how to look at somebody in love, in grace, in compassion, and simply say, no, no, thank you. And number 3, take control of your calendar, or somebody else will. It's your calendar. Every single day you get up, you have a whole new day in front of you. You have a whole week in front of you. You have a whole month in front of you. You set your agenda. You create some margin in your life to rest, to recuperate, to refresh, to think, to become healthy. So the first insight from the life of Jesus is that he pulled away and he found a place to get some rest in the middle of all that's going on right now. And all this Christmas season as it's buzzing around us and all the things that's going to be going on over the next 30 days or so. Learn how to pull away and get some rest. One more insight, credible insight from Jesus. Although crowds surrounded Jesus, as many as 5,000 to 10,000 at one time, Jesus would often look through the crowds and he would focus his attention on one person. One. Over and over in the life of Jesus, you will see him walk into a crowd of people, heal one person, and walk away. Now, in fact, sometimes as you're following the story, it seems a little unfair. I remember when I first read some of these stories, I thought, I don't understand that at all. In fact, a few weeks ago, when we were talking through the miracle where the man was at the pool of Bethsaida, and Jesus walks to him and says, do you want to get well? And in the life of Jesus, I'm like, I just don't understand why you didn't go ahead and just give, the healing to all the people. But the older I get, the more I understand. A couple of years ago, I referred to Andy Stanley a moment ago in a little quote. I was listening to one of his messages, and he was talking about the growth at their church in Atlanta and all the different people coming through the doors and the hundreds of different needs that would walk through on a Sunday morning as they had thousands of people there. And then he said something that didn't sit well with me when I first heard it. I remember taking notes when he was speaking, and I thought, I don't know about that. I'm not really sure about that. That doesn't sit well with me, but I'll chew on it for a little while. And I'm paraphrasing kind of his words. He said, the needs of the people can be overwhelming, but you can't allow them to overwhelm you, or you will be ineffective. I thought, okay, I'm tracking with that. That makes sense. And then he said this, and I picked this principle up years ago. I've been trying to follow it a lot more in my life ever since. He said, do for one what you wish you could do for all. Now, my first reaction was, that's not fair. You can't just choose one person and meet his or her needs and not meet everybody else's needs. If you do for one, you have to do for all. That's just not fair. And that was coming from the way that I had been conditioned. I thought I had to spread everything out evenly and everybody gets, the exact same. Remember when you were in school? Some of you remember way back when you were in school. You had to go to the bathroom. You'd raise your hand and say, can I go to the bathroom? And the teacher would say, something along the lines, well, if I let you go, I have to let everybody go. And you're like, no, you don't. Like right now, I got to go. You don't have to let anybody else go. I just need to go to the bathroom right now. If you don't mind, just let me go, because right now I'm the one that's in need. It comes from that kind of, if I let you, then everybody else. Look, you will not be able to meet the needs of all the people around you. It's impossible. You are limited, and your resources are limited. Here's what I know about you, okay? If you could, you would meet the needs of all people. I think that's in your heart. I think that's who you are. In fact, I think if you had the resources and you had the time and you had unlimited, wealth and time and energy, you would line people up all across our church, all across our city and our schools, and you would meet every single individual need if you possibly could. That's what I would. If I had the ability to meet everybody's needs, I would meet every single person's needs. I'd build new homes for people, start new businesses for people, on and on. But we can't meet everybody's needs. That's reality. I know that, you know that, and that's okay. We're not designed as individuals to meet everybody's needs. You and I are not designed or expected to meet everybody's needs. You are limited, your time is limited, your resources are limited, you can't do it all. Therefore, you must use your time and resources wisely. We just talked about that a moment ago, creating margin, having the resources. But often, we don't use them wisely. Here's what we do. All right, I'm gonna help you with this. We take $100 and we try to be fair. So we spread it out to 10 different charities. That way, everybody gets $10. Nothing wrong with that. But here's what I've learned over time. Imagine the difference you could make if instead you took the $100 and you, along with a few hours of your time in the life of one child, invested it. One single mom, one middle school student, one single father. You and I can't meet the needs of everybody, but you and I can meet the needs of one person. So rather than looking at the mass of people standing off at a distance, look at one person standing closest to you and try to meet that person's needs. Do for one what you wish you could do for all. Because if you could, you would meet the needs of all the people, but you can't. But you can meet some of the very specific needs in the life of one person. So let's put this together, okay? Come away from the busyness that's swirling around you. Choose to rest. Sit in his presence and be fully present in the life of one person. So ask and answer these questions, okay? How can I get some rest? And what can I do for one person? When you find that quiet place, that place of rest, listen. Listen carefully. And in that moment when you're resting, take some time away from all the busyness. Say, God, I can't be everywhere that everybody wants me to be. I can't go to every party. I can't buy all the gifts. I can't show up and be fully present in the lives of all the people who want me to be. So God, speak to me in this quiet moment and show me the one person that I can make a difference in. Show me the one person that I can pour some time into this season. Show me the one person that I could dedicate maybe a couple of hours to that one person, or that one person that I could meet the needs by buying that particular gift for them. Help me be fully present in the life of one person rather than a little present, spread out thin in the lives of 100 different people. And if you will listen, and you're still unsure of what you should do, just pick somebody. That's what I've learned. Just pick somebody. It doesn't matter. Just pick somebody who has a need and meet that need in that person's life. Do for one what you wish you could do for all. And as you're searching, let me give you some thoughts here, okay? Real fast. One, come away from the busyness swirling around, choose to rest, sit in his presence, and be fully present in the life of someone else. Here are 3 big thoughts. One, think deep rather than wide. Meet with one person and listen to them. Listen to their story, hear their heart. Think long term rather than quick. Follow up with that person. Learn her name. Call her, visit her, build a relationship with that one person. And think time, not money. In America, Preston mentioned a moment ago how we spend billions of dollars in weight loss. We always think money, 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 money. Folks, sometimes it's not money that you need to give to someone, it's time. It's a conversation. It's a cup of coffee. It's sitting and listening to their story. A gift card won't cut it. They're nice, kids appreciate it, but an hour of one-on-one time with one person may accomplish more than a $50 gift card to Walmart or somewhere else. So think time, not money. This strategy will move us past generic needs in the lives of hundreds of people and help us to meet specific needs in the lives of one person. This will allow you to stay committed long enough to make a difference. Folks, sometimes the greatest contribution is that you keep coming back over and over again in the life of a person. You don't quit. You stay committed. You think time, not money. You think long term, not quick. You think deep rather than wide. And you make a difference in their lives. All right? Turn that down just a little bit. We can't shut it all out, but we can't take it all on either. So find a quiet place in his presence. Rest and walk out of his presence to do for one what you wish you could do for all. So the question I have for you as we wrap up today is, who is the one? Who is the one in your life? Who is that single mom struggling this year to put a few gifts under her tree and you could meet that need? Who is the one kid that needs your time, your attention, your love, and you could meet that need? Who is the coworker that's struggling with this year because this is the first year without his wife, and you could help meet that need? Who is the friend who is sick? Who is the one who has a specific need in his or her life, and you could take the time and invest and do it? Do it for the one. If you could, what would you do for every single mom? Do it for one. If you could, what would you do for a person who is sick and in the hospital? If you could do it for all of them, what would you do? Well, I'd do this. Well, then do it for one. Find one and do it. If you could, what would you do for every person who's recently lost his or her job? Well, I do this and I do that. Okay, do it for one. Because there are people around you who've lost their job. What? Who is the one this Christmas? Choose the quiet place, listen carefully, do for one what you wish you could do for all. Be fully present for someone this year. Let's pray. Father, we often hear it's the most wonderful time of the year, and in so many different ways it is. Father, all the different things that we get a chance to do, and the decorations and the kids singing and the presents and the parties and the music and all the things, it's just so fun. It's a wonderful time of the year, but often it is stressful. It's anxiety-ridden. We have people who are going through all kinds of different issues in their lives, and we sometimes get so wrapped up in all the things that we're doing, we miss the needs in other people's lives. Father, my prayer for Forest Park is that we will learn how to pull away from the crowds and get some rest. Even if it's just 10 to 15 minutes a day, or maybe it's one full morning on the weekend. We don't go anywhere, we don't do anything other than seclude ourselves, sit in a chair, sit at a desk, be on the couch, open our Bible, spend time praying, thinking, reflecting, journaling, something to just reconnect with you and reconnect with ourselves, and then ask, what can I do for one person? And Father, imagine what would happen if hundreds of people who call Forest Park Church home did exactly that. We pulled away from all the busyness. We secluded ourselves in your presence. We reconnected with you and ourselves, and we walked out to meet the need of one person. Father, we would literally see life change. We would see incredible things happen. Speak to us during this season and help us be fully present, not just for you, but for at least one person. We ask these things in the name of your Son, Jesus. Amen.
Amen. Amen. You can give it up for Pastor Scott as he exits the stage. Grateful for the message, grateful for the Sunday. Want to encourage you, just piggybacking off of him, you know, the idea of serving the one is so impactful. Instead of looking at the whole crowd and saying, let me serve all of them, choosing one person. But I will challenge you before I give you two announcements real quick and let you go. Man, choosing the one and finding the one and serving the one takes intentionality. It takes looking, it takes stopping, it takes slowing down. And we want to challenge you again as you go throughout your week, man, be praying, asking God, show me the one person in my life, in my work, in my community that I am called to serve and love in this season. So I hope that challenged you. Two quick announcements. Number one, if you are new here, we'd love to get to know you better. In every seat back pocket, there's one of these here. It says new here, welcome here, or welcome home. It has 5 questions on it. If you would, take it, fill it out, and if you drop it by the New Here area, which is the wooden desk by the main lobby, on your way out, we have a gift for you, just again to say thanks for joining us, thanks for worshiping with us. We'd love to answer any questions you have about Forest Park. And then secondly, just a last reminder, man, as you leave, go by the windows and take an angel tree. There are 44 left as of this service starting. We could clear the windows with this service. We'd love for you to choose the one and serve the one by serving our kids and our families and our community here in Elizabeth City. So love you guys. I hope you have a great Sunday.